Hello, all my middle grade reading friends. It's Mrs. Nordquist bringing you the second installment of the Battle of the Books. So I'm going to talk about the next 5 books on our Battle of the Books list for 6th grade. Now, this year, for some reason, they decided, well, at the start of the year, they had, I think it was 4 picture books on our list, and I was like, what the heck is going on here? And then we ordered all the books, and then they decided to change it to where there was only 1 picture book on the list. And I'm still like, I understand picture books, and the battle is 4th grade through 6th grade, but when I show you this picture book, I think you'll understand why I'm baffled that this book is still on there, because some of the other picture books, there were a lot more words in them, like the 3 Billy Goats Gruffs was one of them. And I'm sorry, I have a cold, so I sound pretty bad. But the next book on our list is called Goodbye Fergus by David Shannon. And this book, I kid you not, like, most of the pages have 1 or 2 words on them. The illustrations are cute, but I don't understand how they're going to form any Battle of the Books questions for this book. So it says, Goodbye Fergus. Fergus likes to chase cats. He doesn't always come when he's called or eat when he should. And sometimes he makes a big mess, but he's always a good boy. Woof. So, yeah, look at this. We could go through this book in 2 minutes. I don't understand. But this is another book on our Battle of the Books list. Good Boy Fergus by David Shannon. Another book on our 6th grade Battle of the Books list is I Survived the Black Death, 1348 by Lauren Tarshis. A couple years ago, we had I Survived Hurricane Katrina on here, and I really enjoyed that. So it says, the deadliest disease in the history of the world. Elsie dreams of becoming a brave warrior like her father, who is an archer fighting in England's war against France. But life isn't fair in 1348 Europe. Peasant girls like Elsie can't be archers or knights or anything exciting. Then one day in the forest, Elsie and her best friend discover a chest filled with stolen treasures and a dangerous secret. At last, Elsie has a chance to prove that she's as brave as any knight. Little does she know that a horrific, deadly illness, the Black Death, has begun its attack on England. It's already killed millions around the world, and now it's come for Elsie. When disaster strikes, heroes are made. So I Survived the Black Death, 1348. I'm excited. I didn't like history in school, but I have a little bit more appreciation for it as an adult. So and there's pictures in here. I'm very curious about how they wrote a story around the Black Death, the Black Plague. But yeah, there's some pictures in here. They're pretty cool. They're black and white. But so this is another book on our next section, I Survived the Black Death, 1348 by Lauren Tarshis. Okay, the third book out of our next 5 is called Mr. Popper's Penguins by Florence and Richard Atwater. So this is a newer cover. I like this cover a lot better. It doesn't look as outdated. I read this book. I really enjoyed it. Mr. Popper dreams of being an Antarctic explorer. and living among the penguins alongside his hero, Admiral Drake. But as a house painter with a family to care for, Mr. Popper knows his dream is just a dream. Until the day when Admiral Drake responds to a letter by sending a real live penguin straight to Mr. Popper's house. It isn't long before the first penguin, Captain Cook, is joined by a second penguin named Greta. Soon, the Poppers have a house full of new penguin friends. But with a dozen penguins to feed, plus Mrs. Popper and their children, how will Mr. Popper make enough money to keep the whole family going, penguins and all? But Mr. Popper and Captain Cook are nothing if not imaginative, and now it's time for them to dream even bigger and to take the penguin show on the road. An unforgettable classic, Mr. Popper's Penguins, is a delight for all ages, inviting readers to imagine, dream, and believe that anything is possible. Mr. Popper's Penguins by Florence and Richard Atwater. I believe there's some illustrations in here as well. Yep. They make an ice area for the penguins to play in. There's Mr. Popper. And they take the show on the road. So this is book 3 of our next installment of the 6th grade Battle of the Books, Mr. Popper's Penguins by Florence and Richard Atwater. Okay, the 4th book in our next group of 5 is, Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper. This has been a book that I've been wanting to read for a long time. My late sister-in-law gave me a copy of it with a little handwritten note to make sure that I read it with a box of Kleenex. So I've wanted to read it, but I've also not wanted to read it because of the fact that she gave it to me and she's no longer here and I can't talk to her about it. So it's probably going to be an emotional read for me, but okay. It says, 11-year-old Melody has a photographic memory. Her head is like a video camera that is always recording. Always. And there's no delete button. She's the smartest kid in her whole school, but no one knows it. Most people, her teachers and doctors included, don't think she's capable of learning. And up until recently, her school days consisted of listening to the same preschool level alphabet lessons again and again and again. If only she could speak up. If only she could tell people what she thinks and knows. But she can't, because Melody can't talk. She can't walk. She can't write. Being stuck inside her head is making Melody go out of her mind. That is, until she discovers something that will allow her to speak for the first time ever. At last, Melody has a voice, but not everyone around her is ready to hear it. That sounds very sad. Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper. No illustrations. I kind of like it sometimes when there's like a few illustrations in middle grade books. But sounds like I will be crying during this book. So there's that. And I do know that Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper, they do have a second book called, hold on, let me look it up on my computer. It is called Out of My Heart, is book 2 of Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper. So depends on how I like that. If it makes me cry, how hard I cry, I'll have to think about visiting book 2. The last book on our next section of 5 is the first book in the Princess Academy by Shannon Hale series. Can a mountain girl really become a princess? Question mark. High atop Mount Eskel, Mary's family pounds a living from the stone of the mountain itself. But Mary's simple life will change forever when word comes that the prince of the kingdom will choose his princess from among the village girls. Every eligible girl must attend a makeshift princess academy and prepare for royal life. At the school, Mary confronts bitter competition among the girls, a harsh teacher, and her own conflicted desire to be chosen. But when the academy comes under siege, Mary must set aside her feelings and find a way to save her classmates and their beloved village. Oh, that sounds interesting. When was this book published? 2005. So they do a good job of having older novels with newer novels, which there are a few other books on the list that are newer. But this sounds interesting. I'm not sure how many are in the series, but The Princess Academy by Shannon Hale. Ooh, it was a Newbery honor book. I'm excited to read what happens that Mary has to try to save her village and classmates. That sounds good. All right, guys, so that was the next 5 books in our 20 books for 6th grade Battle of the Books. So far I have introduced you to the first 10 of our 20. And the next one, I will do another 5. So until we meet again.